Ho Chi Minh, clever ingenuity solves the country's fate. In the context of the young state when it had just won independence from Japan, in the siege of imperialism, the struggle of the Vietnamese people to protect the achievements of the revolution was extremely difficult and arduous. Less than a month after seizing power, the French army, with the help of the British Army, opened fire to wage war in the south, officially returning to invade Vietnam for the second time on September 23, 1945. From the 16th parallel of Ben Hai River to the north, July 1945, in the name of Allied troops carrying out the task of disarming the Japanese army according to the Potsdam Conference. 200,000 Chiang troops poured into Vietnam. The plot of Chiang's army was to find every way to destroy the Indochina Communist Party, destroy the Viet Minh, and overthrow the young Vietnamese revolutionary government. Ho Chi Minh and the Indochina Communist Party wisely recognized that the immediate enemy of the people of the state at that time was the invading French army. So they had to focus the fire of struggle on France and at the same time saw through and analyze Chiang's army's plot to neutralize Chiang's plot. Because of the observations and analysis of the conspiracy of Ho Chi Minh and the Indochina Communist Party, they decided to implement a strategy of peace and concession with Chiang and their henchmen in the north, providing food for 20 people. Thousands of Chiang's troops accepted to spend their mandarins and national currency, expanding 70 seats in the National Assembly for Viet Quoc, Viet Cash without elections, etc., to concentrate anti-French forces in the south. With this peace and concession, Ho Chi Minh and the Indochina Communist Party were able to neutralize one of the two spearheads of the enemy's attack. On November 11, 1945, the Indochina Communist Party announced its own dissolution, retreated into secret operations, leaving only a part to operate openly under the title of the Association for the Study of Marxism in Indochina. The above policies and measures have gradually neutralized sabotage activities, defeating the plots to destroy the communists and hold Ho Chinese troops enter Vietnam, and overthrow the Vietnamese revolutionary government of Chiang Kai-shek. Through this, we see the beauty of Ho Chi Minh's ingenuity in terms of strategic vision. From the beginning of 1946, France and Chiang Kai-shek plotted a plan to send French troops to the north to replace Chiang's troops. To implement that plan, on February 28, 1946, France and Chiang signed the Chongqing Treaty. Facing the compromise between the two colonial powers, both trampled on the national sovereignty of the Vietnamese people and placed the Vietnamese Revolution in the position of having to deal with the new plots of two reactionary forces. Ho Chi Minh and the Indochina Communist Party commented that the problem at this time is not wanting or not wanting to fight. The problem is knowing yourself, knowing others, objectively assessing the profit and profit conditions at home and abroad and advocating correctly, must carefully consider the pros and cons. Choose the least harmful thing to do. We must do so or else we will be trapped on both sides, between France and the nationalists. President Ho Chi Minh emphasized that we should not fight 5 and 6 at the same time with country robbers and traitors. Punching with both hands at the same time is not strong. Therefore, choosing a solution to negotiate with France, aimed at forcing Chiang to withdraw his troops back home, taking advantage of peace to prepare all forces for a new fight, and advancing to victory. The essential thing is that while opening negotiations with France, not only do not stop for a minute the work of preparing and being ready to resist at any time and anywhere, but also promote that preparation with all your might, and definitely do not let negotiations with France dampen the determined fighting spirit of the Vietnamese people. Implementing that policy, on March 6, 1946, President Ho Chi Minh, on behalf of the government of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, signed with the representative of the French government a preliminary agreement with the main provisions. France must recognizes Vietnam as a free country, with its own government, parliament, army and finances, within the Indochina Federation of the French Union. Forcing the French to recognize the above provisions will create recognition and mobilize great international support. In return, the Vietnamese government agrees to let France send 15,000 troops to the north to replace Chiang's troops, and will gradually withdraw. Within a period of 5 years, the two sides implemented a ceasefire in the south, creating a favorable atmosphere for opening the next official negotiations in Paris. The signing of the preliminary agreement, March 6, 1946, demonstrated the ingenious leadership